Hi all and welcome back to Guide to SolidWorks. We're found to the final sort of mechanical section of this, modeling section of this component, which is the voice amplifier. We are looking at assembling the components together to create this final model. So as we have just in the last video finished the handle, we are now going to have a go at looking at putting all three of these components together to be able to make this assembly. So let's dive into that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and let's get straight into it. So what we're going to do is, rather than create a part, we're going to go and create an assembly for this model. So go to Assembly and OK. What you'll get here down the side is all of the components that we have created. So I'm just going to grab these. Click on one, hold Control, click on the ones that we want. So we've got the handle, the horn, and the rear. I've got them all highlighted by holding Control and clicking on each one at a time. I'm going to move across, and I'm just going to drop them in one by one, like so. Now, what you'll see down the side is we've got our three parts. One of these parts, as you can see here, is the handle that has a little F next to it. So that is our fixed component. Now, whether we want that to be our fixed component or not is a different matter, but that is our fixed component. Now, for the sake of this model, it doesn't matter which one we have as our fixed component. Let's have the handle as the fixed component. But if we did want to change that, so we could right-click on it, select Float. It will now move around. If I right-click on it again and go Fix, and it'll be static, and if I grab it, I can't move it around, but I can move the other components around. Okay, so just need to make sure that I'm happy with the component that is fixed, because that's what everything's going to be attaching to. So for instance, the horn and the end are going to be held in place by being attached to the handle. So let's have a look at how we go around doing that. So first of all, let's attach the horn to the handle. So if I go to my tabs, I should have an assembly option. I'm going to go to Mate, and I'm going to click on this flat strip underneath the horn. And I'm also going to click on the top face of my handle. That should start to line them up. So we can see there that they have lined up. Now, I also want this outside edge of this flat strip to line up with the outside edge of the handle, and it'll just move it across like so. Okay, now that's still going to move, so if I grab this, it will still move backwards and forwards. So let's roughly say that I want this edge here to line up with this edge here. Now, I want to set a distance, because I don't want it to line up right at this back corner. Let's say we want it 75. That just positions the handle roughly in the center of that flat section. Okay. Then a tick to show that I'm happy, and that's all set up. This component is now fixed to here. It can't move. I can prove that by, if I grab this, try dragging it around, it doesn't go anywhere. It also shows, because if we look at our list of components in the design tree here, the rear component still has a little negative sign in brackets, which means I can still move it around. The horn does not, so that means it is fully defined. It does not have that. Okay, so let's do the same to the end on here. We want to mate this to the end of our horn. So I'm going to go to Mate, I'm going to select this face, and I'm going to select this face here. That will just line them up. Okay. Then I'm going to select the outside circle, and I'm going to select the outside circle there as well. And that will just link them together. Okay, and exit. Now you'll still see there's a little negative on the rear, because what's happening is it will still turn. We don't want it to rotate, so what we're going to do is we're going to lock this in place. So if I go to Mate, I'm just going to click the inside of one of them circles, and I'm going to go through the circle and click the inside of the horn itself, that'll just give me two things that I can lock together. So click the lock there, tick, and what we'll see now is that this won't move. Excuse me. And if I exit that, the minus has now gone on the rear. So it's locked in place. And that means that our assembly is now completed for this horn, or this voice amplifier, leaving us with a final product completed. If you want to see this in a realistic view, what we can do is we can go to Add-ins, we can go to Photo View 360. That will add in the render tools, and we can then just go, I like the integrated preview option, so if we go to integrated preview, zoom in, make it centerized on the page. We can add a camera if we want, or continue without. It's completely up to you. I'm just going to continue without because it's on the screen how I want it to look. If I wanted to add a camera to show a specific angle off, I could do. Continue without, and you'll see in a moment that it will render that live on the screen. And there we go. We have our finished rendered product on our screen, and what it will look like in terms of the ABS with the 3 different colors. So that's what your finished voice amplifier rendered would look like. So if you wanted that as an image, you could export that image. But yeah, there you go. That's the finished product. So hope you enjoyed that. Hopefully you took something away from that modeling, from that component, that product, them 3 different steps, 3 different videos. Like I say, if there is any that you haven't watched previously, and you got to this one, go back and have a look. But if you're also new to the channel, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.